Rolling down the highway, tunes of days gone by, 50s through the 80s where the heart still flies. So come along, friend, there's more to explore. You're on the road with the Grand Tour.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of On the Road with the Grand Tour. My name is Phil Bridges, and joining me on this episode is Kurk Bernard. Kirk, thank you very much for joining me.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me, Phil.
Kirk plays, of course, the bass in the Grand Tour, and he's also the front man, the MC, the bus driver, walks you through the show. So, Kirk, first of all, we'll talk a bit about the bass. When did you pick up the bass and start playing?
I started playing bass with my dad's band when I was probably about 15 years old.
Yep. 15, and that leads me to my next question. Your dad was a musician.
Yep.
And he must have had a big influence on your interest in music.
Huge, yeah. Very traditional country singer, Buck Owens fanatic, yeah.
So you are living up west in Nail Pond with your wife, Lisa, but you just moved back home. How old? You were up in Ontario for many years. You moved away when you were 15?
Yeah, I was gone for about 35 years, yep.
You came back 35 years later, and did you think you would be doing something like this with the Grand Tour?
No clue. To tell you the truth, when I moved home to slow down, and I never thought in a million years that I'd be hooking up with a band as good as the Grand Tour.
Well, those that have seen the show know that Kirk is a big part of it. A lot of humor, and you've played with some pretty big names. I know you're probably too humble to maybe mention it, but the experience that you garnered from some of those musicians, you traveled with, I believe, Tommy Hunter,
yes, sir.
Played with Merle Haggard. Tell me some of the names that you've had the opportunity to play with, and it's not bragging. Just let people know that you've been around.
Well, I think when it comes to fronting, I learned a lot from Tommy Hunter. He had a very passionate way of dealing with a crowd, and when I was working with him, I was studying him. And Ronnie Prophet was probably another big influence for me. He was funny, he was quick, he was just a great guy to work for. I've had the pleasure to play with Dolly Parton. I played with her when her steel guitar players were being inducted to the Hall of Fame in St. Louis. I played with Merle Haggard, steel guitar player, when he was inducted to the Hall of Fame in the same show. Another steel guitar player, to tell you the truth, was Don Helms, who was the last remaining member of Hank Williams Sr.'s band, and I still to this day can't believe I got a chance to play with him.
Awesome, amazing. Yeah. You've been very fortunate, of course.
Yeah.
The music business can be a tough one, but you've been in it a long time and doing very well. You also fronted your own band called South Mountain that had the opportunity to travel Europe and did very well as well.
Yeah, we toured 25 years over Europe, and about 8 or 9, 10 records we did. Yeah, it was a good run.
And in this show, Kirk does do lead vocals for the Buck Owens medley. You're a big Buck Owens fan.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
And how did that come about?
Well, that all came through my dad and my uncle Lionel. They were just Buck Owens fans, and the 4/4 shuffle beats and all those kind of things, and the harmonies, Don Rich's harmonies. It was just something that I've always loved. Yeah.
Have you always been a fan of the old classic country music? It certainly sounds like you have.
I've never sang anything other than country music, traditional country music. I mean, I've done the odd newer country songs and maybe the odd classic rock song with other certain groups, but I mean, as far as what I know and love, it's traditional, right to the core. Yeah.
You are really a historian, I'll say, of classic country music. I get to travel with you, some driving to the shows, and songs will come on the Willie's Roadhouse, and you know the history of that artist and the history of this song. You know the words to almost every song that comes on. So that takes some time to keep up, to get all that information.
Oh yeah, well, I've been a full-time musician for most of my life, and it's always been traditional music, and I've just surrounded myself by it. And I when I first started singing and stuff, I really studied George Jones and Merle Haggard, Ray Price, Marty Robbins, and Buck Owens. They were my go-to performers.
And that experience, certainly, people see it in the show because, as I mentioned, Kirk kind of drives the bus and walks you through the decades, and we'll give you some interesting backgrounds on some of the artists and their nicknames, and you just know all that stuff.
Well, yeah, well, I've been fortunate. Like I said, the groups I've worked with, it's just been knowledge. I'm learning from other people, and just like my dad and my uncle, they just fed that music to me, and I was a sponge when I was younger. So
Now, if you happen to be coming to Prince Edward Island in the summertime, we talk about Kirk being a historian. He's also a big historian of Mr. Stompin Tom Connors.
yeah,
And the Stompin Tom Connors Center up in Skinner's Pond,
yep.
I believe is the actual location, he does a show there every afternoon at 1 o'clock. So if you're a big Stompin Tom fan, make sure you drop up to the Stompin Tom Center and see Kirk. And that's a lot of fun for you as well.
I really enjoy it. You know, I think I only knew like probably one Stompin' Tom song when I moved home, and then the center opened up, and it just kind of fell into my lap. And I play there 7 days a week from June till the end of September. And I've always been a fan of Stompin' Tom, and the more I learn, the prouder I am to know it. So, yeah.
Right on. Are you having any fun at all with the Grand Tour?
It is absolutely amazing from the beginning of the show till the end of the show. The group of guys and gals that I'm working with, couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, I know you're a big part of the show, a lot of laughs, and the show really is about memories and
Yep.
and maybe shed some tears, some laughs, and it really is a roller coaster. It's a show.
It is. It's a show, yep. It is a show, and you know what? Having Jamie Matthews on the lead vocals, I mean, there's times at night I look around and some of the band gets a little misty-eyed
Yeah,
too. So.
yeah, exactly. We all do, and
Oh, yeah.
everyone in the audience does as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk, thank you so much for joining me. Keep up the great work with the Grand Tour, and if you would like to see Kurk Bernard and the rest of the Grand Tour live, then visit our website, www.thegrandtour.ca. Check under shows and find out when they're coming to a venue near you.
Thank you, Phil Bridges.
Thank you.
So come on.